Hi there, my name's Victoria with Do Tell a Belle, and today we're going to paint a delicate and charming watercolor dress on a hanger. I'm working on a new stationery line that incorporates this theme along with some of my watercolor flowers. And most of you already know that I'm an artist, but my passion also is designing stationery for weddings and parties. So I'm going to start by mapping out the area of my dress. And if you want to paint along with me, I will leave a link to download the outlines for this in the description area below. But for now, you can watch and imagine yourself painting this. I like to do that when watching other artists, because when I come around to painting it myself, it is much easier. So instead of using the pink color that I showed you at the beginning of this video, I'm going to paint this dress in like a blue-green, almost like a dusty blue-green, minty color, like a sage. I guess they would call it a sage blue. And those are part of the colors that I'm using for my collection. This kind of pink mauve color and a sage blue color. And I got that color by mixing turquoise and sap green. And I feel like this is probably a little too dark because I'm just mapping the area out now. So I'm just going to dilute that a little bit with some water. And make sure I get that evenly spread so we don't get any what they call cauliflowers, or this bloom effect that sometimes can happen if you vary the amount of water that you're using in your watercolor. Now to get a lighter shade of this, all you need to do is just dilute it some more with water. And I think this is a pretty good shade. I'm going to let this dry a little bit. And I'm just going to keep an eye on it to make sure that I don't get any blooms. If I do, I will try to fan them out before they dry. Now while this is drying, I'm going to go ahead and paint the straps using a number 4 round brush. And they're going to be the same color as the dress. I rather like this color. It's reminiscent of the Victorian era. So let's just let this dry a bit and we'll come back in about 15 minutes and see how we're doing. I'm going to test my painting with the back of my finger and it's still slightly wet, but that's okay because we can work with that. And I'm going to paint my hanger using a wet on dry technique. And what that means is we're just applying the pigment directly to the paper, whereas if you're doing a wet on wet technique, you would lay down water first and then apply the pigment. Go back to my number 8 round brush and mix up a more concentrated blue-green color, again using my turquoise and sap green, and this will give pigment and darker color. Now I'm going to add in a little bit of shadow areas by laying down the pigment and then cleaning off my brush because I want it to kind of feather and just kissing the edge of the pigment so we get a nice gradation. We're going to paint in the folds of the dress here too. Let's do the same on this side. We'll lay down a little bit of pigment, concentrated pigment. Using a clean brush, just gently paint right up next to that pigment, and that will give you that gradation to make the dress look more flowy. We can just bring some of this color down into the dress for the folds. Turning out beautiful. We have some nice smooth lines in here and I'm loving it. thinking that I'm just going to add a little bit of shaded area right up in this area. Just a tiny bit. Just clean up that edge a little bit. This dries, I think I want to just blend this a little bit more. Just drop in some turquoise. Kind of cinch that waist a little bit. Now for the metal part of the hanger, I'm going to use my micron pen and just draw in a whimsy hanger. Give it a little loop at the top for charm. And there you have it. A simple watercolor dress. I'm going to use this for my new stationery line. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check out my new stationery line. I'll leave a link in the description area below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more weekly watercolor tutorials. Your support helps me bring more creative projects like this one to life. Happy painting, and see you next time.